Hello, I'm Colin Hanratty from hostelworld.com, and if you're wondering where's the best place to get traditional fish and chips, what are the city's best museums, and what are the coolest neighbourhoods in the British capital, don't go anywhere, because here are 10 things you need to know about London. Capital of England and located on the River Thames, London is one of the most iconic cities in the world. It is the gateway to Europe for many travellers, and here you can take a spin on the world's best known big wheel, go to a show in the city's famous West End, and sample some of England's best nightlife all in one day. Now, here is the first of those 10 things. With a population of 7.5 million people and covering an area of over 600 square miles, London is one of Europe's largest cities. Over 270 nationalities live in the British capital, and between them over 250 languages are spoken, more than any other city in the world. It's because of this that the list of things to do, restaurants to eat in and bars to drink in is literally endless. Transporting over 1 billion people around the city every year, London's Underground, which is better known as the Tube, is efficient and extremely easy to use. There are 12 lines in operation, and as many of the city's top attractions have their own stops, you will definitely need to use it at some stage during your stay. If you're going to use the Tube a lot in the one day, make sure to invest in an off-peak travel card for zones 1 and 2. They cost just over £5, and with them you can use the Tube as much as you want for the entire day. But if you're coming to London for more than one day, make sure to invest in one of these. It's an Oyster card. They work in a pay-as-you-go scheme, and you can top them up on machines at different stations. They make travelling quicker, cheaper and easier. When in London, the problem isn't what is there to see, it's more what isn't there to see. Buckingham Palace, Tower Bridge, Trafalgar Square and Big Ben are just some of the landmarks that can be found here. A great way to see loads of attractions in a short space of time is by going for a walk along the River Thames from here in Westminster Bridge the whole way down to Tower Bridge, which is about 45 minutes east from here. Behind me are the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. Over there you've got London Eye, or further on down the river you'll see St Paul's Cathedral, the Gherkin Building and the Tower of London. If you're one who likes to visit museums and galleries, then you're in for a treat, as many of London's are free. This includes the Natural History Museum and the Science Museum, which are side by side on Exhibition Road in South Kensington, and the Victoria and Albert Museum, which is just around the corner on Cromwell Road. Closer to the West End is the National Portrait Gallery behind Trafalgar Square on St Martin's Place, while actually on Trafalgar Square is the National Gallery, which contains works by Leonardo da Vinci, Rembrandt and Van Gogh. Lovers of modern art may prefer to visit the famous Tate Modern at the city's Millennium Bridge. Opened in 1753 and also free to enter is this museum here called the British Museum on Great Russell Street. It's considered by many to be the greatest museum in England, and the minute you walk through the doors into this room here called the Great Court, you can see why. It's got over 80 rooms with over 7 million artefacts. These include objects from ancient Egypt, ancient Greece and more. If the hustle and bustle of the city centre is getting a bit much and you're looking for somewhere to chill out for a couple of hours, London has loads of parks to visit. The biggest and by far the best known of all of London's parks is Hyde Park, which is here in West London. Covering 145 hectares, here you'll find lakes, ponds and fountains like the one right behind me. It's also where you'll find Speaker's Corner, a place where people come to voice their opinion on anything and everything every Sunday morning. Other parks you may want to check out are St James's Park in front of Buckingham Palace and the aptly named Green Park, which is just across the road from it. Up in North London you'll find Regent's Park, where you'll see all sorts of wildlife, and Primrose Hill, which has breathtaking views of the city. London is famously one of the best cities in the world to go shopping, and a great place to treat yourself something new is Carnaby Street, which is full of shoe shops and clothes shops. Other streets well known for shopping are Regent Street and Oxford Street. Over in Knightsbridge you'll find Harrods, the department store which is a tourist attraction in its own right, while if that's a little bit out of your budget, you'll find bargains galore at the markets in Camden Town. Along with all its world-class attractions, London is also home to some really cool neighbourhoods. Covent Garden, which is right in the heart of the West End, is where you'll find some trendy shops and restaurants, while neighbouring Soho is full of bars and is also the city's gay quarter. On the Tube's Northern Line is the famous Camden Town.
The great thing about Camden is that it's more like a big town than a big city.
This is due to its many markets and the atmosphere you'll find along Camden High Street, with its eccentric mix of alternative clothes shops and tattoo parlours. Another popular suburb is Notting Hill, which is largely due to the 1999 film of the same name, and here you can visit the bookshop where Hugh Grant's character worked in the film. Its main thoroughfare is Portobello Road, which is lined with cafes and antique shops.
No trip to the British capital is complete without trying traditional fish and chips. A great place to try it is this restaurant here called Golden Hind in Marylebone Lane, just off the top of Oxford Street. It's open since 1914, and along with the good food, the great thing about it is that it's BYO, so you can bring your own drink.
Another great British tradition is sausage and mashed potatoes, and a good place to try this is in the S&M Cafe on Brushfield Street near Liverpool Street Station in the east end of the city. Along with Broadway in New York, London's West End is the most famous theatre district in the world, and at any given time you can go to see a musical, drama or comedy.
The best known place to get discounted tickets is the TKTS booth here in Leicester Square, but make sure to shop around because you might find better deals in other ticket offices around here, as well as those around Piccadilly Circus.
While there are lots of bars around Piccadilly Circus and Soho's Old Compton Street in the West End, it's worth taking the trip east when going out at night.
And one of the coolest bars in the East End is this bar here called the Big Chill Bar, which is on Dray Walk just off Brick Lane. They've got different DJs playing every night of the week, and there's always a good atmosphere here.
Other bars worth checking out are Jam and Kick near the corner of Shoreditch High Street and Old Street, and Blue on Hoxton Square.
So that is our 10 things you need to know about London. Hopefully you'll pick up some tips from this video. For a fact sheet on everything that's in this video, log on to www.hostelworld.com/videos, and for the best selection of hostels in London on the internet, stay in the same site.